Today, guys, we're gonna show you that we are real gladiators. And for that, we are going to fight against each other just like the real ones did. So I guess we need some real gladiator names, no? So I represent you. Grigorius Rocket Lancerius and Aregius cover all the Cortius. Fantasticus Incredibilius best of all times.
Areg, I think they can kind of tell that you came up with the names. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gladiators Tennis. And yes, today we're not only reviewing this newly released Yonex Vcore 97 Pro, 310 grams, but also we're doing a bit of a competition. So just like with any other racket review, you're about to see some of our highlights from the playtest. But this time, we want you guys to vote on whose highlights were better on our Instagram, okay? And whoever gets the most votes, so the winner, will do this to the loser. And the result, so the video of the punishment, is gonna be on our next video,
So you're gonna see me hitting Grisha in the next video. Vamos! Grisha,
yes.
I don't care if you like the racket or no, because I'm gonna win anyway.
Okay. So the stakes are extra high today, right? So I gotta perform better than I usually do. And I hope this racket won't let me down. Considering the previous version that I liked quite a bit, I have pretty high expectations for this one. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Grish, hopefully I was recording you, it's just I was watching that girl the whole time.
Alright guys, if that intro was a little cringy, let us know in the comments, alright? Also, looks out of the way, the racket doesn't look incredibly different compared to the previous one, but looks are subjective, so you guys decide. So yes, the Vcore definitely helped me to get some nice highlights out of this playtest. Not to say that there weren't any flaws, but I liked it. I started liking it after playing with it for a while though. At first, I couldn't place the ball within the white lines. Like, the ball was just shooting out uncontrollably both on the forehand side and the backhand. What did benefit from this uncontrollable power though, was the serve. Man, that shot from the beginning felt incredible. If I managed to not miss the serve long, it was a really hard serve to return. That's obviously talking about the first flat serve. Very stable on impact and very easy to direct. Almost gave me a sensation that I had a bit of a better angle over the net. Slice first serves were pretty good as well, though I couldn't open the serve as wide as I could with something like an E-Zone or Vcore 98. The second serves were an absolute mess, however. The racket isn't the most maneuverable one out there, so whipping it resulted pretty challenging on the second topspin. It is something you'd expect from a racket of its category though, so don't be surprised. Quickly going to talk about the volleys. I'm saying quickly because there really isn't that much to talk about here. The racket feels really heavy at the net, creating problems when trying to quickly prepare the swing or give the ball that backwards rotation to eliminate some of its speed and lower it down. That resulted in quite a few long landing volleys and preventing me from going to the net that much. Now, onto the ground strokes. There's a lot to talk about here. Backhands felt worse than expected. I couldn't direct the shots properly and often missed them out. And if you take into consideration the fact that the backhand is my reliable shot that I rarely do unforced errors with, well, it might become a problem. I do have to say that I might have felt that way because I'm changing my backhand a little bit to play with a bit more topspin, so complete flat hitters will benefit from this racket on the backhands. If you had plenty of topspin to the ball while playing on the backhand side though, I'd recommend you stay away from this one. So I said earlier that the hesitation that this racket gives on the backhands might result in a bit of a problem. Well, not if your forehand becomes an absolute destruction machine. Because of this racket I had to change my tactic quite a bit, planning it all around my forehand because, bro, I was absolutely dominating. Playing deep, no problemo. Just keep the swing long and add a bit of spin in the end. Want to do an aggressive approach? Can't do much better than this. The only shot that I've struggled with a little bit was that short forehand angle, but once again the maneuverability isn't the best and the small head doesn't help with the shot either. Returning, the role switched completely. I was way more comfortable doing backhand returns than the forehand ones. Both flat and topspin serves were easy to tame with the Vcore Pro, directing them exactly where I want them to go. Forehands though, it was an alright experience, but the confidence just wasn't there, and I couldn't really attack with the forehand return. So, should I mention the lobs, Areg? Alright, fine, I won't. Let's jump into conclusions then. Flat aggressive baseline is probably the perfect profile for this frame, but flat means flat on all shots. Forehands, backhands, serve, slices, everything. Alright, fine, you can get away with somewhat of a top spinny forehand and maybe don't hit your slice flat. I'd like to see how that would look. Also guys, vote for me on Instagram, I don't want to get hit by Areg use.
Areg, is there anything you'd like the best people in the world to know?
Well, they have a choice, you know, here. Like, they can do the best thing that the person can do,
Okay.
or not subscribe.
Okay. Oh, so also, or not to follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, that's fine. Man. So but they're intelligent, so
I know, yeah, right.
just subscribe.
Areg man, tell me something about this racket.
Well, I haven't really read the specs of it, so I'm gonna be professional and talk about the aesthetics. Okay, so this color reminds me kind of, you know, the retro old toilets. This color they have, you know, something. In theory, that's a compliment because I actually like the color. So let's see how it goes.
Toilet color, I like it.
Well, as you may know from our reviews, gladiators are naturally attracted to Yonex rackets. It's something instinctive that we have inside us. So my expectations were really high, but the frame didn't disappoint me in any way. You see, the products designed in Japan aren't always the most gorgeous looking ones. Shout out to Toyota Prius maybe. But in my opinion, the Vcore is very elegant, but also has a bit of 90s Agassi craziness vibe, thanks to those colors, so it's also fun. Let's move on to the playtest. Generally speaking, I felt like I had a lot of power in my hands, and surprisingly, I was able to control every inch of that power. Like, I didn't do the most beautiful Benoit Paire kind of touch highlights, because I wanted to give Gregorius a little bit of chance in this competition, but also I didn't do them because it wasn't necessary with this racket. The power of this model was more than enough to win points. Just with few fast and powerful forehands, I was able to end up in the volley zone and finish the point with ease. I was playing with many kinds of forehand variations. Long high ones, short ones, and even risky flat ones. And all of them were an absolute pleasure to execute. The backhands didn't bother me neither. The impact felt very soft, so I was perfectly capable of hitting cross-court long rallies, waiting for the opportunity to attack or do a slice, to break my opponent's rhythm, and also his hopes of winning me. Even though this model is pretty heavy, I found it very maneuvering and well balanced. So volleying is very doable, even though it's by far not the strongest point of this Yonex. I always talk about the most important shot, the serve, at the end of the review, even though it should be the other way around. That's how smart I am. But really, the serve wasn't an exception, as it felt as decent as all the other shots. Even though I didn't go for big serves that day, I was still feeling very confident on the first serves, and my second serves were very spinny, so they jumped very high after the bounce. Even Monfils and Kangaroos got jealous of their jump. After all my explanation, I still have to go back to the power department. It was just something else. It was almost unfair for Grisha, because with all that power I was more powerful than Putin. Okay, maybe it's time for me to calm a little bit down and invite you to see the grades. Thanks for watching.
Areg,
Yep.
people are asking what tension and what string are we using for the playtest?
Okay, it's 23 kilograms, I
Okay.
know that. And
Yes.
the name is Hot Hack. Hot Hack, something
It's
like
Head
that.
Hawk 130.
Yeah, I'm gonna pronounce it super right, I'm sure, so just write it here, Grisha. Vamos. Grisha?
Yeah.
Gregorius Mr. Lunch.
You're not gonna be able to pronounce it.
We'll see. First try.
Давай.
First try. For the guys. Gregorius Rocket Launcherius. Gregorius Locket.